Hello, OU employees and future National Kickball Championship recipients. My name is Dr. Sara. I'm with the Place to Grow Chiropractic. And Stephanie Willis has asked us to put together some exercises that you can start doing today that's going to help keep you injury-free for when you actually get on the kickball field. So although our goal is to make you successful and win, our goal is also to help prevent injury. So there's often two things that we talk about with kickball and reasons why people oftentimes get injured that we don't oftentimes think about. So one of the major reasons is that as human beings, we do a lot of forward to backward movement. So walking, sitting, all require us in the forward, backward plane in order to be stable. What we oftentimes don't consider is the side to side movement that's required of us on a day-to-day basis that oftentimes becomes weak. The other area that we oftentimes consider when we're talking about a lower extremity activity like kickball is rotation. So when you're going to head towards a base or toward home, oftentimes you have to pivot, and when you pivot, oftentimes if you're not stable, oftentimes injuries occur, whether that's knees or whether that's hips. So our goal today is to help give you some wonderful things that you can do at the rec center, at home, that will help get you prepared for all of your future activity with kickball. Again, most of you sit throughout the day and you understand the struggles of trying to balance sitting all day and then going to activity. And one of the biggest struggles that we find with a lot of our patients is they go from 0, i.e. sitting, to 100, where they're trying to work with the trainer and they're working really hard. So I want to give you kind of a good in-between exercise so you can feel super successful, you can feel super safe, and you can have a great season. So first exercise we have is what we call the monster walk. So monster walk is going to help us with our side to side movement without putting a ton of pressure on the knees. So the way we do this is I kind of drop a little bit into a squat. I don't sit overly past my knees. You want to make sure that your knees and your ankles are right above each other here so that way we don't put undue stress on those knees and ankles. So when I do a monster walk, I oftentimes will keep my hands here. And again, you want a little bit more challenging, go a little bit lower. You want a little bit less challenging, go up like this. And if you want to even challenge yourself more, you can put a band around your legs. And literally, we are going to just take steps from side to side while maintaining our posture. And then we're going to go back. So these are called monster walks. They're going to help you get a little bit more stable with the lateral movement while engaging your core, which is also really important. And then we're going to go back. Okay? Exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is going to help us with the pivot as well as our lower leg strength. So you're going to start in that stance that you did, and essentially what you're going to do is you're going to turn into what we call a forward lunge. Now I'm not sliding very gracefully on the carpet here, but your tennis shoes should be able to turn a little bit more gracefully on an appropriate floor. But I'm keeping my upper body controlled while maintaining a lunge and pivoting with my core. So also a really good exercise, if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, add 5-pound weights in your hands, do it a little bit faster. The third exercise is going to be our wood chops. So wood chops can be done with any weight. They can be done with a soup can, they can be done with anything else that you want to use. But essentially what this is going to add is our oblique muscles, which help us with that pivot motion. So I usually start here. You're going to reach for the ceiling and rotate down, and reach for the ceiling and rotate down. So I like to think of it as a guided movement rather than a swing. You don't want to hurt your back while you do this, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. So swing up and down. Again, nice and gentle, nice and controlled, all the way back and forth. Now, a lot of questions I get in addition to what exercises should I do, how often should I do them, and how many. So for those of you getting started, I recommend 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 3 to 5 rounds. So usually what I do is I'll go through and do my monster walks for 30 seconds. I'll make sure I break up the time appropriately so I'm going both directions equally. Take a 30-second break, get my heart rate down a little bit, catch my breath. Then I'll move into my second one, which we already talked about, which is going to be your squat with your rotational lunge. So you go through those for 30 seconds and then take a 30-second break. And then the last one, the wood chops, I would recommend for 30 seconds as well, splitting up your time. And then between each of your 3 to 5 sets, I would recommend a 1-minute cardio burst. So whether that's jump rope, whether that's a fast-paced jog, whether that's a burpee, I would recommend adding something that's going to get your heart rate up to help get you a little bit stronger to incorporate full body movement. So just to recap, we have monster walks, we had the squat with the rotation, and we had the wood chops. Those are 3 exercises specific to kickball that I think are going to be really helpful to get the season started for you. If you've got any questions, Stephanie will be able to answer them, as well as please feel free to contact our office. We want you to win, but we want you to feel functional and successful while you win as well. And the only way we can do that is to help prevent injuries. So good luck with your kickoff. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. If not, happy training, and we will see you in a couple weeks.